Um, but yeah, I just want to get one in before the holidays. Got to talk a little bit because I'm just like seeing everybody talk about it. I'm just like, I kind of want to talk about some things.
Yeah, me too.
Because every time I see stuff, I'm like, I really want to talk about this.
Yeah,
it's bothering me.
Yeah, this team pisses me off. So
yeah, I know, but we're gonna watch. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be there opening day. So all right, I'm gonna hit it on 35 seconds. Here we go. Hold on, 30. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, welcome to a new episode of Beyond the Bank Phillies podcast offseason edition part 3. I am your host, Pete, along with my co-host, Henry. What is up, my guy?
Man, this offseason is boring.
It's really boring, really quiet. I mean, not quiet for other teams.
It's quiet for us.
It's quiet for us. I feel like I have to keep saying that it's there's so much going on for other teams, and then we're sitting here and not doing too much. We signed a relief pitcher. We signed Jordan Romano, which we'll talk about eventually. But yeah, man, it's just I don't know. It's weird right now. But I figured we talked about it. We get an episode in before the holidays. Christmas is a week away. So hopefully everybody's in the holiday spirit.
Yep.
And hopefully we get a gift from the Phillies soon of somebody signing. Hopefully that could be, someone
who's
helpful.
left. Who is left?
Someone helpful to this team. So
listen,
we're just I guess we gotta keep saying let's be patient. But how much more patient can I be? It's like I told you the other day I texted you about somebody else signing with another team. I was like, I can't wait till I tell you that, like, oh, the Phillies signed somebody who's actually going to be good for this team. Like, I'm tired of talking about the teams.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
Exactly. But that's what we're going to start off doing to get it out of the way. But we're going to talk about some other signings that have been made. But the big one that happened a couple weeks ago, which, I mean, unfortunately got to get some airtime on this topic, but we will. Juan Soto signed with the Mets for 15 years, $765 million.
Disgusting.
Setting the record for the highest paid player in baseball.
In sports.
In sports, yeah, exactly. So it's, I guess for the most part, we maybe kind of expected it. We knew he was going to get a lot of money. We just didn't know if it was going to be with the Mets, with the Yankees, if he was going to go back there. I know the Red Sox were involved, the Blue Jays. I didn't really think they were really going to, make the signing happen, but they were involved in talks. But, he went to the Mets, so now we get to deal with him for 15 years.
I hate him all. I hate him. When he was with the Yankees, I could kind of keep my distance.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you're on the Met, no, sorry,
yeah.
It's not happening. Like you're dead to me as far as I'm concerned. And he's gonna be a Philly killer. Just watch. And Steve Cohen is coming for these owners' pockets, man. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, that's been the big.
And it's no deferred money either.
Yeah, so it's honestly, I mean, he lived up to it. I mean, everybody was talking about Cohen and talking about how he was going to be aggressive to go get Soto and
the whole Uncle Stevie and
he was going to top any offer that anybody else was going to offer, give him or whatever. And he went there and he made it happen. And I mean, listen, I respect Soto as a player. I'm not a fan of the attitude sometimes with him. I do feel like he has an ego, but other players have egos too. He went and got his money. I'm a little surprised. I guess I'm like 50-50 about it. Like, I had a feeling that maybe there'd be a good chance to go back to the Yankees. And I feel like, it would have been fine for him to go back there. But at the same time, it's like, it just seemed like he maybe had his sights set on the Mets and going in there even beforehand. We don't know. But we'll see what happens over the next 15 years. I already see the comments of like, oh, this guy's going to kill us, for the next 15 years. So we'll see, in due time. I get the thought of it, but we'll see what happens. Terrible defensively. Like, we'll have to deal with the bat. Yes. But who knows?
Just keep hitting balls to right field or wherever he's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I just feel like it seemed like when you watch some of his like press conferences after when he signed and stuff like that on the one day,
he has no reason to sign there except money. He didn't have a good thing to say about anything.
Yeah, and they were asking questions to him about like the Yankees and how he said he didn't really talk to a lot of players, since the World Series ended. Um,
It's
it's
ridiculous.
just it's weird. It's weird, and it goes back to the whole like ego thing, which I didn't feel like dealing with, to be honest with you. I know other people wanted it to happen. I just I didn't feel like dealing with it, and I know maybe people will say, oh, it was going to help the Phillies. I get it, but I don't know. I didn't feel like being in that limelight, and we have other problems to deal with right now. So
quite honestly, I kind of made peace with the fact that we weren't going to get him a while ago, but I just wanted him to be anywhere but the division.
Yeah, I get it.
And of course, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're going to talk about these other guys that are going to possibly get extensions or have signed deals. I don't know why anybody signed before Soto because everybody's value went up exponentially.
Yeah.
Exponentially because he got more money than Shohei Ohtani. Like, yeah, it was for 5 more years, and he's not as valuable, obviously, but he doesn't have the marketability that Shohei Ohtani does at all.
No,
At
not at
all.
all.
So
yeah, no.
I hate the fact that he went to the Mets, and it's going to kill me for a while. But I'm still not scared of them. Like I just like I'm scared of them to a point where we lost them in the playoffs last year. I have to give them that respect, but I just don't see what they have as sustainable.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
nobody knows where Pete Alonso's going.
True.
Nobody knows where any of those guys are going. So it's all up in the air right now for them. And I don't know what future he saw. I know that they have like a mid-ranked farm system compared to like the Yankees. I think it was like 15th and like 22nd or something like that.
Yeah.
Mets being 15th. I just don't know what future he sees there. Lindor is aging. He's great. He arguably should have been MVP last year. I think he should have been MVP because I don't think anybody who's a designated hitter should get MVP, but that's neither here nor there. Lindor is aging. Pete Alonso, nobody knows what he's going to do. Apparently, the Phillies are interested in, which I want no parts of.
I'm good. No thanks.
And they're just a dysfunctional organization. And anybody thinking that just signing Juan Soto and giving him as much money as he wanted is going to fix your bad luck and your incompetent organization in front office has another thing coming.
Yeah, I hear you. And that's the thing. It's just, the whole like, future thing that he was, comparing and stuff like that. And I can see it on like maybe the Yankees side with, guys like Aaron Judge that are getting older and, it's Stanton and stuff like that.
Stanton's getting older. I mean, he's been a Yankee for what, 7 years now?
Yeah. So
for a while.
I can see that on that side, even on the Mets side too, like you just said, like Lindor and stuff like that. But that's the thing, it's just to be determined right now. We don't really know what's going to happen. This game is 162 games a season. A lot can happen in that time over the next couple of years, and it's not like they're the only team. Like the whole National League is getting stronger. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not just the Mets. There's other teams around, and I hate to say that. Unfortunately, right now it's not good for the Phillies, but I guess still early. But anyway, everybody else is getting stronger right now, so they're still going to be competing with teams like the Dodgers, like the Padres. So, like it's just it's going to be competitive, and especially in that division specifically. So there's things that have to play out, and we'll see what happens. But I know, like you said, I'm never moved by the Mets, no matter what move they make. I mean, I've always said that type of thing, and they still have holes to fill. Their starting rotation doesn't really scare me much, and like you said, like guys like Alonso,
they lost Severino. I mean, Sean Manaea might go somewhere else. Like, who knows?
Exactly. So
I think people are lying to themselves if they say, "Oh, well, this doesn't move me at all." It has to. It has to. There's no way. Like it has to move you. It has to. Because they're in division. They beat us in the playoffs last year. Like, this is why I didn't want him in the division.
We beat ourselves.
Yeah, but they played really well. Like,
the
Mets got hot in the playoffs. That's just what happens. They were us in 2022. That's what it was. But like, it's worth noting that in the last what is it, 4 years or whatever. This is Soto's like third team.
Yeah.
Like this is, or in the last 3 years, I'm sorry, because you had San Diego, then he spent, then he got traded to the Yankees, and then right after that, now he's signed to the Mets. So it's like I don't know where his loyalties lie. Clearly, his loyalty lies with the bank.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like that's all I can say.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, honestly, listen, like, what if they do get Alonso back? It's like, all right, now you look at the lineup and it's a little stronger, I guess. But I don't know. That'd be pretty crazy if they can get him back. So, who knows? We'll see what happens. Still to be determined. But hey, all I could say to them is, I guess. Actually, no, I was gonna say good luck, but screw that. I don't want to send them luck. But I guess God bless, whatever. I don't know. Listen, have fun, and we'll see what happens. I don't know, because then again, in the next 15 years, they don't win anything. Then what? You know what I'm saying? Then
yeah, but if they win one title with him, that whole contract is going to be worth it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, honestly, it's almost like the Harper contract for us. But
yeah,
I mean,
I personally already think it's worth it.
But, no, me too, for sure.
Yeah. And we got him for literally half the price.
True.
For almost the same amount of years.
Well, whatever. Have fun. Glad he's away from my team, and I'm glad that whole thing is over, to be honest with you. So
dude.
I will be there, the first Phillies Mets series.
I'm sick of Scott Boras. I'm sick of John Heyman. I'm sick of all of them, dude. John Heyman got mad. Did you see what happened with John Heyman in New York?
I did see that whole thing, yeah.
That was ridiculous. Yeah. For people who missed it, the WFAN, the sister station of WIP in Philly, they had John Heyman on, and they were like, "Oh, well, you clearly are like getting a cut of this contract because you're like Boris's mouthpiece." They didn't say that exactly, but and he was like, "Oh, I can't," and they said it in total joking manner with like half truth because like everybody kind of knows it's true, but they were just kind of like messing with him, like nothing crazy, and he got so offended that he hung up. And he was like, "I'm done. I'm not appearing on here again." The fact that you would tell, and he started like crying, like, "Dude, shut up, shut up." And then he was the first guy that high five wants.
Yeah, he was there.
He got to at Citi Field. Like, stupid, absolutely stupid.
Yeah, exactly. But hey,
enough
of the Mets talk. We'll move into some other signings and trades that have happened. So I listed a couple on the rundown here, and I'll go through a couple that I guess stood out to me or kind of just like the big signings or trades. So we'll start off with Luis Severino. He signed to the A's for 3 years, $67 million.
That is the biggest contract in A's history,
which is insane to think about. But then again, it just goes to show how poverty.
The second highest was in 2004.
Unbelievable.
That's disgusting.
I pray for A's fans. I do. I really do. Next one was Clay Holmes.
Your prayers can't do much now, brother. I gotta tell you.
They can't. They can't. Next one was Clay Holmes to the Mets. He came over from the Yankees, signed 3 year, $38 million. It looks like they're gonna put him in the starting rotation as a starting pitcher and not in the bullpen.
Can't wait.
We'll see. Yeah, exactly. That one was like, all right, relax.
If this doesn't age well, don't come after me. But can't wait to go against Clay Holmes. Let me tell you.
Can't wait.
He stinks.
Next one was Orioles landed Tyler O'Neill for 3 years, $48.5 million.
Big blow to the Phils, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, I would have liked to get him.
I wanted him to be a Philly, but
I know.
I will say he doesn't really put together healthy seasons very often, so I'm not really concerned.
Yeah,
it would have been nice to have a utility guy, but bring me to Hernandez instead.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But and then the next one was Willy Adames to the Giants for 7 years, $182 million. I liked Willy Adames. I don't think he would have been a fit on the Phillies, to be honest with you. But good player, and I guess good for San Francisco. I mean, they're always in these rumors for the top end guys. With Judge and then with Soto. I don't know if they were watching on Soto, but who knows? But they're always like
you said it was 7 years, 182, right?
I think so. Yeah,
that's 26 a year. That's nothing for him being that young.
Exactly. He is a good player, and he'll be good for them. So,
but the problem with the Giants, like they're just so incompetent.
I know.
Like they're so like irrelevant.
Yeah. You think they're going to compete,
they
but
make
they
3 or
don't.
4 moves and then they just don't do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember when Gabe Kapler was the manager and they won like 107 games and then they got eliminated like right away?
Yeah. I can't stand hearing his name.
Oh,
Gabe
yeah, I know.
Kapler.
It makes you cringe, don't it? Yeah.
It really does.
Sends a chill down my spine.
Yeah. Yankees signed Max Fried to 8 years, $218 million. I think, listen, so far, it seems like the Yankees have gotten aggressive ever since losing Soto the last, couple weeks or whatever. And Max Fried, thank God he's out of the division. Good pitcher. I know he's got some, injury problems, the last couple of years. But I mean, for the most part, we kind of owned him. We played well against them, but I guess it's a good signing for the Yankees, I would say, especially for a guy behind Garrett Cole.
So, if anybody missed the Juan Soto thing, that was in the news, apparently the Yankees were going to make him pay $500,000 a year to have a family suite, like his own suite or whatever.
Yeah,
and the Mets are giving it to him for free. And apparently the Yankees have gotten cheap over the years. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, George Steinbrenner is rolling over in his grave, I'm sure. But like, when was the last time they missed out on the guy that was a top free agent that they already had on their team?
Yeah, exactly.
We've lived a long time to see that happen. But they gave Max Fried's mom and wife flowers today.
I saw that.
And I saw a tweet.
Nice gesture.
It was what?
It's a nice gesture, I guess.
Yeah. So I saw a tweet from J. Hay Kid, who's from on the Baseball is Dead pod, and he said in quotes, "You'll need to pay for a vase. You'll need to pay for a vase yourself, of course."
Unbelievable.
I mean, look what they did to Sterling or whatever his name was. Their announcer, they gave him a flat screen TV. TCL. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, man. Hey, it's beyond me, man. Hey.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's just so funny. They're so cheap.
These next couple ones I'm just going to run through and then we can talk about them after.
Yeah.
But Guardians, they traded Andres Gimenez to the Blue Jays. Nathan Eovaldi signed back with the Rangers for 3 years, $75 million. Red Sox got Crochet, traded for him. Devin Williams to the Yankees. They made a trade with the Brewers. I think the Brewers got fleeced. Cody Bellinger was traded to the Yankees yesterday. And then Kyle Tucker, unfortunately, sadly, I hate to say this, but he got traded to the Cubs a couple of days ago. So, I mean, out of some of those moves that I named and whatnot, and some other ones that we didn't talk about, I mean, was there any that really stood out to you or surprised you in some sort of way?
I'll say this. I don't know. I did not see the Red Sox going for Crochet. But I like I don't mind Red Sox fans. I was texting Mike when they got Crochet, and we were and we were talking about it. And I don't mind their fans. I went up there for a game; it was awesome. Everybody was super cool. So I follow the Red Sox a little bit. I root for them if the situation allows. And I saw that, and I was like, wow, that's surprising. But a lot of what I was seeing on Twitter and through podcasts and stuff like that was the Red Sox always had starting pitching as their number one priority.
Yeah.
It just so happened that Juan Soto somehow was one of the people they were one of the teams for Juan Soto to be like, oh, yeah, maybe I'll listen to them too. And they were just like, oh, like they kind of just fell into it. But all the reports that I saw were they weren't going above $700 million.
Yeah.
And I thought that his contract was going to be like $550, but I was incorrect. So I'm surprised that they came out of the woodwork because there really wasn't anything saying Crochet to the Red Sox until it was finalized.
Yeah.
And they got to keep all their basically top prospects. So
interesting trade. There's
a catcher that they sent to Chicago. But other than that, they didn't get any crazy high prospects. I mean, think about this: if the Phillies got him, what do you think the deal would have been?
I think you would think Justin Crawford or Aiden Miller would have been in that deal. I feel like one of them. Not saying both. I'm just saying one of them.
I think you might have had to give up
definitely
both. If you
You
weren't
think
going to
so?
give,
I
if
don't
you
know.
weren't going to give Painter, I think you would have to give both of them.
Yeah, it was.
I think that
I don't know. It was a tough situation for the Phils. I mean, I don't know.
The way that I looked at it was there were 4 guys that some of these trade talks are centering around, and it's Kaba, Painter, Justin Crawford, and Aiden Miller.
Yeah,
I think you could have went Painter and Kaba, and if you didn't go with Painter, you would have had to do both Crawford and Aiden Miller, because
which would have been too much. I feel like I don't know.
I totally agree, but you'd also probably have to give a player.
Yeah,
and word is that it was Alec Boehm, but I think it's ridiculous. But that's way too much for the team we have now and the things we went through for years. That's too much,
for sure. Yeah, and honestly,
just for them to be poverty.
When it comes to starting like pitching, though, I know it would have been great to have a guy like him. Especially when the years come when like Wheeler and Nola are kind of like not give you any good performances anymore. Have a guy like Crochet that's up and coming along with Painter would have been nice, but I just feel like for right now, like we're in a win now mode. We are, in all honesty,
we're in a win now mode. But I feel like this is a regime, and we didn't really have this with Ruben Amaro, and love Ruben, whatever. But we didn't have this with that regime.
Yeah,
they want to stay competitive.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, if we don't get a World Series, that would really, really suck. And I want Bryce to get a ring so bad.
Yeah.
But if we can stay competitive and stay a destination, that helps us out in the long run.
For sure, yeah. And it worked out better, I guess, for the Red Sox just because they're kind of in this window now of like, a little bit of rebuilding. I know they've been competitive last couple of years, but you can tell they're kind of, trying to fix some things. So it was a better trade for them. I'm honestly okay with missing on Crochet.
And they didn't get out of the Devers contract either. They didn't even have to give up Devers. So
exactly. So listen,
it was quite an interesting trade. I did want to talk about Kyle Tucker. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, that one hurt a little bit for me. I definitely wanted Kyle Tucker. At first, I was a little iffy about it, and then I kind of like jumped on board. And it seemed like this might work. I know people were saying, it was going to be another left-handed bat in lineup, but I felt like we could have worked with that. But having him in the outfield would have been nice. But then again, I think you would have had to moved off of Castellanos. I feel like in that situation.
Well, the word was Bowman Castellanos.
Which funny, it was both of them in that deal, and the Astros completely just shut that down right away.
Yeah.
And which is kind of laughable to me because saying for us, I'm saying on our side, it's just comical that was even the offer that Dombrowski thought would work. But yeah, that one hurt, man. It's Tucker's a really good player. I know last year he dealt with a lot of injuries, but I just felt like the way he plays would have fit that lineup perfectly for us and would have definitely helped it out a lot. And I just feel like maybe there could have been a couple tweaks in that offer that Dombrowski could have made that maybe would have landed us, Tucker. And honestly, I would have been okay with giving up a guy like Justin Crawford for Kyle Tucker, in all honesty. No, I definitely would have. I would have been okay with it. Maybe for somebody else, no. But for a guy like Kyle Tucker, man, you got to take the risk on that.
I think Crawford and Miller are almost as untouchable as Andrew Painter.
I don't know.
I just do because there's an
I feel like more Miller. I feel like more Miller and Painter, and then Crawford is more of like he could be thrown into the mix with trades. I just feel like Miller is the top one. I feel like Miller over Painter in my opinion. As much as I love, I'm excited for Painter and see what he does.
I think they're all equal, to be honest. Like I think the organization looks at them that way. Mm-hmm. I think that scouts look at them that way.
Yeah.
I don't see a world where getting rid of Aiden Miller and Justin Crawford is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's for like a can't miss superstar.
Yeah.
I'm not buying into it. Not drinking the Kool-Aid, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, but that's what everybody feels like right now.
So I wanted to ask you this too.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have traded for him if it was so obvious that he was going into free agency after this season?
Yeah, see, that's
the thing. There have been a lot of reports saying that he's going into free agency and forget everything else. He's going into free agency no matter what.
Yeah, I think that's that's the one thing I used to like cope with the whole like not getting him was like, okay, well at least we had to give up prospects for a guy who may be a 1-year rental for all
Yeah.
we know.
Well,
That's what I kind of thought for afterwards.
you don't want what happened to the Yankees
No, for sure.
with
But I
Soto,
mean,
you know?
then again, though, if anything can happen where it's like, okay, he does go back to the Cubs, and now we sit here like, well, damn, maybe he would have
Yeah.
signed with us. I mean, who knows? That's just to be determined and see what happens
Right.
next year. But like I said, afterwards, after the trade was made, I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's the one thing we didn't like lose out on. But
Right.
honestly, that thought like. I was really not trying to think about that when like he didn't like get traded yet, and like we still had an opportunity where I'm like, dude, like I don't know, just for this next year upcoming, I feel like it would have been good for us. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's just listen, good for the Cubs. I know they traded Bellinger, so they that's one person out of the outfield now. I mean, I knew they were going to put Tucker, I'm guessing, in right field, and then if they still keep Suzuki around, which is another possible player
If
that
he
the
makes
Phillies can
another
get.
wall catch at Citizens Bank Park, I'm going to crash out. Just letting you know.
Yeah, well, we'll see, but yeah, the Tucker one hurt. Like I said, the Devin Williams, the Yankees. Okay, Devin Williams would have been nice. And the trade that they made with the Brewers was absolutely mind blowing to me. I just was like, I had to stop my workout when I heard about it because I'm just like, there's no way this trade just went through.
I mean, just
Whatever,
imagine replacing Clay Holmes with Devin Williams.
Yeah, imagine.
Yeah, man.
But,
must be nice.
It must be nice, and I brought up the point earlier, but it just seems like the NL is getting a little stronger right now, and the American League it seems wide open right now with a lot of these other teams in that conference, and it's just I don't know, we gotta do something.
I saw a quote from Scott Lauber today. And
Mm-hmm.
this is a Phillies tailgate tweet. They just quoted him. It says, in an informal survey this week, 5 talent evaluators from opposing teams agreed that absent a big move as far as across the NL, the Phillies remain among the 3 best teams in the NL. 3 placed them second, hot on the Dodgers' heels.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's no. but
I get it. I get it. I get it.
I see your point. I see your point about the National League getting stronger, but I think it's a very top heavy. Like outside of the first 4 teams, I don't see any threats anywhere.
Yeah.
The Giants aren't there to me. I think they're mid. They'll always be mid to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Dodgers, it's us, it's the Mets, and like I guess if you want to say the Brewers, but you really can't. Now Willie Adames is gone. Like those are the 3, and then the Dodgers. That's 4.
You can throw the Braves in there too if they get healthy.
I mean, I guess, but they never stay healthy.
True.
So, I mean, so you have these 4, maybe, all right, call it 5. That's a third of the National League, but the next team below that, which is probably like Cubs, is just mid. They're all, it's extremely mid from there down.
Yeah, for sure. I just feel like when it gets to the point of like, when you get later into the year and that wild card race is just going to be tight. I feel like with, certain teams that are going to be competitive, teams that are, are competitive in their division, but there's one team that's just running away with it where nobody catches up, but you're still going to have like maybe like 2 other teams from that division, example ours, that are be fighting for some of those wild card spots.
Exactly. So, that's the problem. 3 of the top 5 teams are our division.
Yeah, exactly. So
and the Nationals are probably going to take another step forward.
Yep.
Not so much the Marlins, but
no. Hopefully not. Hopefully not to worry about the Marlins.
Okay. But... Yeah. Hopefully not.
But yeah, so
crossing my fingers, hoping the Miami Marlins don't get competent all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me a break.
All right, I'm gonna do an ad read real quick.
Yep.
As we look ahead to the 2025 season, make sure you are prepared with new Philly sports gear. Go to website phillygoat.com to get new Philly sports merch and use the code BTBPod for 10% off your next order. Beyond the Bank is proud to be an affiliate with Philly Goat. As always, go Phils. All right. So enough of the around the league talk. Let's get to the main team that we love so much right now. The Phillies, man, they so far been kind of quiet outside of the one move, which was signing relief pitcher Jordan Romano to a 1-year deal. I want to get your thoughts on that, and because I just feel like it's definitely a Dombrowski move, in my opinion.
I just don't see the value.
Yeah.
Like, especially with a bullpen that's so up in the air as it is.
Yeah.
Like you have guys like Hoffman who walked. You have Estevez who walked. We don't know who we're getting back yet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Romano's a 2-time All-Star, but he also got DFA last year. So it's like, you know, let's be honest here. He pitched 15 games. I mean,
yeah, not a lot to really show
what
for
does
it.
that really help us? You know,
Yeah,
I don't see it. He
yeah,
has like good stuff, it seems like, but it's just not enough. It's not
yeah.
enough. You have to get a better bullpen.
It can't be
have
the
to.
only move for the bullpen. It can't.
No, because you have Strom,
Yeah.
and that's basically it. Strom and Alvarado, which I think Alvarado's cooked. I hope they keep him, but I think he's pretty cooked, to be honest.
Yeah,
I just think his arm is done. I mean, he's been in, he's he's pitched like 300 and some odd innings without giving up a home run, but I think he's cooked. Without giving up a home run to a center fielder. That's the stat. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I think he's cooked. I really do. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Romano signing, like I said, it's definitely a Dombrowski signing to me. It's definitely like a high risk, I feel like. Let's say if he can come back somewhat half of the pitcher he was, 2 years ago, awesome, great. But I don't think you put him in that closer position that he's so familiar with. That's why I think you still try to go get a guy like Tanner Scott who could fill that role, who is still out there, who's still, again, just sitting there, just saying Dave Dombrowski is just sitting there. So I just think like it's a high risk. And I was listening to a PHLY podcast the other day, and they had I forget what the guy's name was. They had a guest on, Phillies Insider, I'm pretty sure, and he was at the winter meetings. And he brought up like this one point. I don't know if it was much of a comparison, but like he's talking about like, oh, maybe it's another Craig Kimbrell situation of some sort. And I'm like, please. I said, please don't. I don't want to do another Craig Kimbrell thing. I don't want to do it. Please do not. I was like, I literally put in the chat. I said, I'm good. I'm good. All we don't need to try another experiment like that again. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how it pans out with this guy. If he can stay healthy, number one, and number two, and pitch well. But like we said before, it can't be the only move in the bullpen. You gotta get another guy. You have to.
I just don't even want to dignify that Craig Kimbrell thing with a response.
Yeah, no, I don't either. It made me sick when he said it. I was just like, dude, stop. We're not doing that again this year. I want a guy who
I can't wait to tell my grandkids that he blew the season.
I know. Yeah, I know. It's horrifying. But yeah, and then we talked about the whole Kyle Tucker thing, the whole offer we made the Astros, and that immediately got declined. And then I'll bring up another apparent offer that was reported that Dombrowski did was he was speaking to the A's about Mason Miller, and apparently he brought up Alec Boehm, and they instantly just like declined, hung up the phone, and said, "Yeah, that's not happening." Again, just comical. Now I don't know if that was like a 1-for-1 trade, if there was other stuff involved, but it just seems like right now
Alec Boehm.
Yeah, the main piece was Alec Boehm, and at the same time, they're saying that Alec Boehm is getting traded. Rob Thompson was on MLB Network saying like, yeah, we're not going to trade him, but then there's reports coming out that are trying to shop him.
Yeah.
Just like this stuff's like all over the place. Like we don't know like if he's getting shopped, if he's going to, and then you go after a guy like Mason Miller who definitely would have been a big piece for the bullpen, which we were trying to look at during the trade deadline last season. And I don't know, man. Like, I just don't know what is going through Dombrowski's head right now with some of these offers. And listen, I get it. Like, it's not a video game. So you got to, be reasonable. So I get it from these other teams' perspectives, but it just seems like right now he's falling short with all what he's trying to get, especially with Boehm.
I think he values Boehm a little more than these other teams do.
Yeah.
And I think it doesn't help that I guess the opposite of recency bias is now all of a sudden Boehm's some bad player, which he's not. But I saw a couple rumors going around about Arenado possibly coming here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you feel about that. I don't. Looking at stats, him and Bohm are almost duplicates.
Mm-hmm.
And Bohm's however many years younger, like 7 years younger, however old Arenado is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see the point. And you'd eventually probably have to move in the first. If you sign him to an extension, you would have to move in the first.
Yeah.
Like, it's just stupid. And I don't want Alex Bregman.
Yeah, I'm good off the Alex Bregman thing. I don't know if we talked about it last episode or whatever, but
you were all for it.
I was all for it, of course. I mean,
you're all for a move.
After a depressing series like we just had in the playoffs, yeah, I was looking for any type of move that maybe move the needle. But when he's asking for that much money at that age, it's like, yeah, dude, good luck.
No.
Like, it's not going to happen here, probably.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just the whole Alec Bohm situation is just like make me feel very uneasy right now. I don't know.
I haven't heard a single piece of news about Santander.
Yeah, Santander, he's still sitting out there too. I
have not seen any news whatsoever about him.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I know you want him, but
I'll tell you. Listen, if we end up signing Santander and that's the only like lineup move we make, I'll be like, okay. Like I'll just I'll just take it with a grain of salt and see what happens. Yeah. But
I mean, it kind of is what it is at that point. But yeah, I just
and now speaking of Dombrowski, not to like really like beat this guy down. Really, we love Dombrowski. He's done a decent job these last couple of years. But there was a quote that came out the other day from former general manager Jim Bowden, or Bowden, however you say his last name, on Dave Dombrowski. I think he was on MLB radio talking about something, and the quote he made was, "He's always wanted to give me his crap for my star player or prospects, and then eventually he gets one of the 30 GMs to bite, and that's why he keeps making these ridiculous proposals." It's like, dude,
somebody's bound to bite. But either that or they figured out his game.
Exactly, yeah, they figured out something, but I don't know, man. It seems like right now they're just, I don't know if they're trying to like press really, or they're just kind of sitting back and waiting and the usual. Well, we got good players here right now, and the other thing is too, I think about I try to tell myself it's like we got a lot of these contracts right now, tied up with Castellanos, Harper. I mean, well, I was gonna say Schwarber, but not really Schwarber.
No, not Schwarber.
But Trey Turner, that's what I was thinking of. But we really got a lot of these high contracts right now, so it may be tough for them. But
JT's
I don't know, man.
Another one.
Yeah, another one, and there's been rumors about him how they're gonna try to help bring back a little bit of like his playing time and stuff because he's getting older and stuff and coming off the knee surgeries. And who knows? Like he might not get extended. We don't know yet. I personally think Kyle Schwarber should get extended over him. Just in my personal opinion.
No question about it.
Yeah, I think Schwarber needs to stick around. I know a lot of people were like, oh, I'm okay with letting Schwarber walk, but I don't know, man. I would rather keep him over a guy like JT, who we don't know is really going to be dependable in the years to come. But I don't know. We'll see. But one more other topic that I want to get to. But there came up the whole discussion of the Harper extension. I know Scott Boras had a quote on it. He said, "There's no question those dynamics are being discussed. John and Dave have taken the time to talk with me about it, so we're in a place where there's very good communication, understanding of what's going on." Take however you want that quote to be. I think right now there's a lot of other things to worry about than this extension right now, as much as we love Harp, but that's got to get figured out later time, I feel like.
I mean, I've always been in camp, give Bryce Harper the extension.
Me too, yeah.
Why are we talking about this right now?
That's what it came up the one day, and I'm just
not us. I'm saying,
no, I know.
Why is he, why? Why is anybody even it's just so stupid.
I know. It's the least of our worries right now. the least of our worries.
Yeah.
As much as I love Harp, we gotta chill on that for a second, and we'll get that stuff figured out. And honestly, I don't think.
Get your 4 years, $100 million, Bryce. Just relax.
Exactly. But yeah, right now, just all in general, what the Phillies are going through right now it's very weird. Unfortunately, I wish I had more to say, and I kind of got most of what I wanted to say off my chest about this team right now. But altogether, I don't know what direction we're going right now. I really don't. Going into next season. Unfortunately, it's I think we'll be good. We'll be competitive. I know we will. I know this team, will still has good players and stuff like that. And hopefully the approach with the batting changes, I don't know. But at the same time, it's just like, can we compete with these other teams that are getting better? Especially teams like the Dodgers who just won the World Series. Like I don't know. It's remains to be determined, and I just don't know how to feel right now at this point. Like I said, I know it's only December. You still got January, but the more time you sit back and relax, the more time you're gonna, the more these players are just gonna go away, and you're not gonna really get anybody who's good value for the team. So I don't know. It's hard to see right now.
I think they're going to end up running it back.
Yeah, well,
plain and
that's
simple.
what everybody's been
saying. Everybody's saying, and I saw reports from Rosenthal saying he'd be shocked if Alec Bohm was a Philly by spring training. Frankly, what's the point in moving him?
Like
big.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm in the center though. Like I don't know where you go.
Big play exactly. Like big player wise, what's worth it? Nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't want Arenado because he's no better.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's got to fix the attitude. Somebody's got to sit him down and be like, "Yo, dude, fix the attitude, grow up, let's go,
let's move on, and let's go focus on winning." Let's just
honestly, that will get so many people off his back. It won't matter.
True. Yeah, it's like
ridiculous.
I said, it's hard right now with the direction of this team.
There's no true direction. This happened with and I'm bringing up basketball. This happened with the Sixers. Last year, they lost, and everybody was just like, now what? Because nobody even knows what to do.
Yeah.
And then
the GM say the usual things. They hear all the time.
Well, we like the guys that are in our building.
Yeah. What is I'm saying? And that's what when I not to go back too far, but the after the season press conferences with Thompson and Dave, the words that they were saying, it just didn't seem convincing, and we kept trying to tell ourselves that okay, maybe it's just smoke screen. I was saying it's smoke screen.
Yeah, everybody thought it was.
Here we are in December, and we're still kind of in this tough situation of what direction do we go? We have our hands tied with some of these contracts. Can we sign somebody to a little bit of money? And I don't know. We're hearing about Bohm. And it's all this other stuff. And then it's you don't want that to wreck anything. You know what I'm saying? I know we said no more vibes anymore, but at the same time,
it does matter.
Clubhouse. Yeah, it does matter. We want the clubhouse to be okay. But I don't know. I just feel right now it's a tough situation. And I'm excited for the season.
Next,
I want baseball to be back, but at the same time, I'm just I'm also kind of scared because I don't know what's going to happen come opening day or spring training. So I don't know. We'll see.
I'll be more than ready when I'll be very, very ready
when
the season starts.
For sure. But yeah, just please, Dave, do something. Tanner Scott sitting right there, please. Dude, they signed Tanner Scott. I'm going crazy. Just saying.
That would be nice.
It would be nice.
What do you think he's going to get though?
Anyway,
contract wise.
I don't. It's going to be a lot of money. It is. Listen, you go sign Tanner Scott. I'm okay. We'll run it back. I'm fine with it. Get Tanner Scott and run it back.
sign back Jeff Hoffman too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Jeff Hoffman, please come back. That would be amazing. Then again, I saw something about Carlos Estevez possibly coming back instead of Hoffman. I'm like, okay. Whatever. I guess.
Let's see how that goes.
For sure. Real quick before we head out of here, though, just sidetrack off of the offseason stuff. I don't know if some people saw the Mike Schmidt documentary that came out a couple days ago.
Very good.
How did you feel about it? I watched it.
It was awesome.
Really put together well.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was. I liked how he did very minimal speaking in it.
Yeah.
He spoke, but he was reading quotes from himself from back then.
Yeah.
He's the best third baseman of all time.
Yep.
And I don't think it's particularly close. I think it was funny when they did the thing on the Chicago game where he was like, I came up and I hit a home run.
Mm-hmm.
Then I came up again and I hit another home run. Then I came up again and hit a home run. And then I did it a fourth time. 4 home runs in a game. It's unbelievable. And Kruk said it in the trailer. I think it was Kruk. No, it was George Brett. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
The old Kansas City third baseman.
Yep.
He said if there was something that could be done on the baseball field, Mike did it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it was him that said that. But I mean, he was just to see how highly regarded he was, and like it was funny when I texted you how you didn't know that like people didn't like him.
Yeah. That's the thing that like stood out to me, and like I said, it was put together very well. Obviously I knew about Mike Schmidt before that, obviously, but it was before our time, and what our parents' time, growing up and whatnot. But yeah, it was interesting to see like how much he went through with the city, and we know how the fans are, we know how we are. We're passionate, we want to see everybody do well, and if you're not doing good, then we're gonna let you know about it. And it really stood out in that documentary, and especially with Mike Schmidt. And it's just insane that a guy went through that much, and still to this day, he's talking about it, saying like, if I were to go back, I wouldn't change anything, but he does wish that he would like handle it a little better. You know what I'm saying? He still beats himself up about it, even to this day, after, getting into the Hall of Fame and, winning a World Series and all that. And, it's almost like he still loves the fan base, even through what they put him through.
Right.
And and it was
the
one part of the documentary, real quick, when he was doing his speech and he was getting emotional about it, it's just like, you're watching that, you were getting emotional almost, just because it's like the guy put everything on the line, even through all the boos, even through all the like the tough times. Like, he didn't start out great at the beginning of his career, and he still came through for the city at one point and be remembered forever.
Right. And I think the defining moment for him was when, not defining moment, but something that showed how intense he was, even though he didn't wear his heart on his sleeve like we want athletes to do here.
Yeah.
He was like, they said that the wind was blowing straight out. If you bunted a ball, it was going to be a home run.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, let's try and get a hit and run going.
Yep.
And they were like, dude, no, just hit the ball. Hit the ball. It's going to go out. You're going to be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are you worried for? And they were like, we didn't realize how worried he was and how in his own head he was until that.
Exactly.
Like, people don't know, and like, it's just, it was so cool to see. And I texted you the thing about the wig and the glasses.
Yeah, that was funny.
When after he said that bad stuff about the fan base, he came out in a big wig that, of course, Larry Anderson got him, and glasses. Yeah. And everybody gave him a standing ovation. He said he walked out, and it was just kind of a slow, like the crowd started to swell, and everybody just went nuts. Yeah, because they realized what he was trying to do. Yeah,
exactly.
What a player! Funny. What a guy!
For sure. And I'm just gonna say, hearing the call from Harry Callis when he hit that homer against the Pirates for, I think it was his 500th home run. That was chills down my spine type thing. Like, just like that whole thing right there.
Michael Jackson. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Dude, like it's just like
hearing Harry again is just.
Oh yeah,
it was awesome.
It was awesome,
and how young he was in that documentary too. Like, you saw it on his, like when he was doing the locker room reports. It was cool, man. It was really cool.
Very well put together and really cool.
It made me feel like I was like, 7, 8 years old again.
Yeah, exactly.
When he called the World Series win, it was awesome.
Shout out Mike Schmidt. Even though he probably wouldn't hear this, but hey.
Of course he won't. Of course.
Never know.
Yeah. You never know, man. Never know.
But yeah, so that's it from us tonight. Guys, we'll keep you updated with anything. Obviously, if we're gonna wait till after the holidays are over to maybe shoot another pod. Hopefully by that time, maybe the Phillies will make a move, aka Tanner Scott. We'll definitely be doing something at one point. But yeah, we'll keep you guys updated on that. And yeah, so happy holidays to everybody out there.
Happy holidays. Go Phils.
Be safe. Yeah, go Phils.
Yes, be safe.
Be safe. Go get Gabe. Go get Tanner Scott. Go Phils.
Yes.
Peace.